All-Ireland champions make one dramatic change for this Ulster final. Their winning captain of 0-8, Brian Dooher, returns to the starting 15 for the first time since last September when he lifted the Sam Maguire. Enda McGinley's hamstring problem forces Tyrone manager Mickey Harte to move last year's Footballer of the Year Sean Kavanagh from full forward to centre field to partner Kevin Hughes. Ranked 25th in the country at the start of the championship, this is the same Antrim team that started against Cavan in the semi-final. Michael McCann is named as Aidan Gallagher's midfield colleague, but he probably will be moved to full forward. Niall McKeever will then go to the middle of the field, with Terry O'Neill operating as Mr. Versatility around his own half-back line. Well, there it is, that's the cup, the Anglo-Cell Cup. Will it be going to Antrim or will it be going to Tyrone? It's David versus Goliath. Let the games begin. And it's Antrim playing against the breeze in the opening half. Tyrone will try, as Mickey Harte mentioned, to settle quickly and deprive Antrim of early possession. That's the first free going towards County Antrim. There's another foul there, as Michael McCann, as we anticipated, would be moved to the edge of the square. And the first and second frees go to Antrim, which is a very good start for the challengers here, and very much the outsiders. Paddy Cunningham. Sometimes he bounces the ball, sometimes he does a little shuffle. There's the shuffle. Here comes the kick. There's the point. The honour falls to Antrim and to Paddy Cunningham to start the scoring here in Clones. It's Ryan McMenamin getting it in for Martin Penrose, who's had a fabulous Ulster championship. That pass didn't quite work out. Here's Ryan McMenamin taking his point. It's the first. Took almost 5.5 minutes of action here in St. Tiernack's Park to get that score. And it's reflective indeed that it's left corner back Ryan McMenamin that comes into the attack to put his name on the score sheet. Good play by Michael McCann, who's tracked back far as midfield. This is Terry O'Neill spraying the ball over to the far wing. Easily anticipated, however. Philip Jordan is there to provide an option. As Tyrone again build slowly and methodically. Chance of a point. Well taken. Tommy McGuigan.
Great score again, Marty, but again that all came from the full back line. Justin McMahon, Ryan McMahon and PJ Quinn are out in front. They're winning the ball, and Antrim are finding it very hard to find their inside forwards. I suppose if you were marking Penrose, O'Neill and Mulligan every night in training too, you'd be well up for it.
Here's on Mulligan trying to get by James Lockery. Kevin Hughes, good vision, has plenty of support. Joe McMahon floats this one in, steps away as if he knows exactly where it's going. Minor All-Ireland medalist back in 2001 as a right half back. His switch to left corner back in the All-Ireland final last year was seen as a masterstroke by his manager. Aidan Gallagher is unable to control it, so it's going to be a sideline ball for Tyrone. Good ball into the path of Stephen O'Neill. Here's Kavanagh going straight through. He is through. Brilliant goal.
Marty, that was a cracking goal, but it looks simple, but you're talking about Dooher, Kavanagh and O'Neill, three of one of the best footballers in the country. You have to work so hard to make it simple. But that ball by Dooher on the outside of his right foot into O'Neill was just magnificent.
Joe McMahon, Brian Dooher, back fires McMahon for the return. He has the chance to score from here for his second point in the Ulster final, and once again McMahon steps away, knowing full well that the white flag is going to be raised. And Liam Bradley is getting a little bit frustrated along the sideline. He feels his defenders and midfielders need to be marking a lot tighter. Tommy McGuigan, here comes the return pass. Tyrone look at times in a different class. Kavanagh going for the point. That's a goal and a point from centre field for Sean Kavanagh.
Marty, that was everything that's perfect about Gaelic football. A 35-40 yard foot pass onto O'Neill. Somebody, Sean Kavanagh, taking it on the run off his shoulder, taking his 4 steps, hopping the ball and slotting it over the bar. Perfection.
Loose ball picked up by Tony Scullion. Feeds it off rather quickly. Gets the return pass. Chance here perhaps for Justin Crozier. And the ball again sails wrong side of the post. 5 wides for Antrim in this opening half.
Tyrone are just on top of their form. They just show their intent so far today that they want to win it again this year, and they will not be happy with just an Ulster title.
Davy Hart. Tommy McGuigan. It looks like All-Ireland champion stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's exhibition stuff. I just hope that Antrim can get back into the game.
Perhaps this time Antrim can provide the initiative and the creativity. Tony Scullion over to Cunningham, and he takes his point. It's Paddy Cunningham's 3rd point of the Ulster final. Chasing after this, Ryan McMenamin. For his own Mulligan, who's operating, it would appear, in the half-forward line. Down for Stephen O'Neill. Well, he's definitely at full forward. Takes a few steps, dispossessed cleanly and fairly. Here's Terry O'Neill, now operating at centre-back, loses possession. Comes back for his own Mulligan. Point on the way. Yes, indeed. It's his 2nd of the match. And out of that 1-9, all of the 1-9 comes from play. And you'd have to say Antrim need to make greater use of that very strong wind that's blowing in their favour. They need to let the ball in long, perhaps. Justin Crozier is wearing 6, but he's been moved to the full forward line. Here's Michael McCann. He's been quite right throughout the game, and Antrim need him to be on fire. And perhaps, just perhaps, might be a little bit forlorn, but it's certainly a ray of hope for Antrim. Anglo-Cell Cup looks like it's heading towards County Tyrone, even at this early stage. Tony Scullion, plenty of Antrim players. Here's James Loughlin. Inside is Paddy Cunningham. Difficult angle for a left foot. Wisely takes his point. 6 points for the Antrim captain.
Yes, it's the first time since the start of the game we've seen a bit of confidence for Antrim. They're starting to believe in themselves, and maybe the whole occasion got to them and they froze. They're saying to themselves at this stage, come on, no lads, give it a lash.
Joe McMahon snapping at the loose ball. Enda McGilley, Brian Dooher. Great ball. The options, Kevin Hughes or Davy Hart. It's Hart, lays it off to Hughes. Chance of a score. Another white flag. Did I mention a short time ago about the response from the All-Ireland champions? You've just seen it. Ball into space. It's a good one. Kevin Niblock. Through the middle, Michael McCann. Terry O'Neill to his right. Still McCann going for it. Went over the crossbar. For a moment it looked as if it just might dip. But a very impressive, incisive run by the Antrim midfielder. Aidan Gallagher's punch down doesn't quite work out. Davy Hart gathers. Plenty of options here as Tyrone go forward. And the point should be taken, and it is. Sean Kavanagh, goal and 4 points from midfield. $114 for Tyrone in this Ulster final, $113 from play. Owen Mulligan. The reinforcements are landing. Owen Mulligan should have possibly given it to Sean Kavanagh, but he didn't have to, because Mulligan could turn and score his own point. That's 3 points for one Owen Mulligan.
It's another very good score by Tyrone, working the ball in. Sean Kavanagh was on his shoulder at this stage, but he takes his point. I'm just wondering, what's the best position for Sean Kavanagh? Is it full forward or is it midfield? I suppose it's whatever the team wants on a particular day. He's one of the best full forwards, but he's definitely the best midfielder.
And there are 3 Tyrone defenders for this. Didn't quite deal with it as assertively as you'd expect, and as a result, Antrim have it. Tomas McCann on the verge of the large rectangle. Referee has blown his whistle, and it is free, dead straight in front of the post.
There was no way in hell they were going to let him in inside the big square to try and get a chance on a goal. They'll take a yellow card at any time rather than concede a goal.
Yellow card for Enda McGinley. Free is tapped over the bar by Paddy Cunningham. Kick out from John Devine is not a great one. Comes straight for us, Kieran Close. There's a chance here for Niblock underneath the high ball. Gives it back. Comes all the way for us, Paddy Cunningham, and he squeezes it inside the left-hand post. And that's 10 points for Cunningham. And Antrim just get a little bit closer.
Yes, and in fairness to Antrim, they have never given up. They've shown good character. They've hung in there where a lot of teams would have just laid down and died.
Kevin Hughes under a little bit of pressure, wins possession cleanly. Beautiful ball into the path of the running Davy Hart. Colm Kavanagh back for his Davy Hart, I'm sure. Floats one in, and that is over the bar.
Yes, Marty, that's his obligatory point that he nearly gets every game. I suppose the wing backs coming forward in the modern game is done all the time, but he gets scores every time he plays.
And Antrim are very sportingly giving a man who's given sterling service to Antrim, Sean McGreevy, replaces goalkeeper Peter Graham. And you'd have to give credit to the Antrim management for doing this particular, well, honourable thing as such. Down at the other end, Antrim are pursuing goals and perhaps even points as they try and edge that little bit closer. Three minutes of additional time to be added on. McCullough in for his own mulligan. Point on its way. Fabulous score from Brian McGuigan, and he's nearly on the field.
Yeah, well, when you have subs like that coming on, and they'll all want to do well because they'll want to have a chance of a starting place in the quarterfinals when they come up. But they have a class panel, class subs.
Antrim continue to try up front. One man who's doing all the scoring is Paddy Cunningham. This floats in very, very high. John Devine is underneath it. All he can do is wave at it as Cunningham gets his 11th point in this Ulster final. It's a very impressive performance by the corner forward from Law of Jarrock. And nobody will really want to play Antrim in the qualifiers.
Well, there you go.
It's Antrim for the qualifiers, Tyrone for the Ulster Championship. They win it for the 12th time. A goal after 10 minutes by Sean Kavanagh, who scored a goal and 4 points in this Ulster final. Out of a tally of a goal and 18 points, there was 1:17 from play. And the Tyrone machine move on. Tyrone are Ulster champions on an impressive scoreline of Tyrone 118, Antrim 15 points. Anglo-Celt Cup is the symbol of Ulster Championship success. Here it is. Tom Daly, President of Ulster Council, presenting it to Brian Dooher and Ryan McMenamin. There with him. Tyrone are Ulster champions for the 12th time in their history.